Hey guys, Kohawk back with another video. Today working on a 91 Dodge Stealth. I picked this for 800 bucks. I've put in probably roughly about 400 or 500 so far. Needs probably about another 800. So by the time it's all said and done, it'll probably be about, say, $1.5 grand. I'm not even gonna count the 800 I paid for the car because it came with so many free tools. Came with a free Bosch drill, which you guys are either going to be like, ooh, DeWalt or Milwaukee, but whatever. It's a free drill. I didn't pay for it. Came with a bunch of like pliers, screwdrivers, stuff like that. And it also came with what looks like all the parts and a running engine and transmission. So, I mean, you can't really argue with that. I mean, the guy even threw in a free strut, well, 2 free struts. There's one for the driver and passenger side. And then even when I went to do the strut, I was like, hey, yo, man, I don't have the spring. And he was like, I got you. I know where it's at. And so he, gave me the spring. I came back down the next day and I picked it up from him. And boom, I put it up underneath the car. So I've done a little bit off camera, obviously, because for some reason I just wasn't like, ooh, I'm going to make a video about this. But I am now. Real quick recap on what I have done, or I guess catch you up on what I have done. The strut. I've done the strut top on this side, which, I mean, doesn't matter a whole lot, but it does. I've also redone the CV axle down there. What's up, little man? How you doing? I've done the CV axle down there. I need to do this stud at some point, or just replace the whole hub, which will probably be easier. I've also rebled the brakes, which probably, not probably, I have new calipers on the way. That'll be in hopefully within the week or so. I need new tires though. So like I said, I've done the strut on this side. I've done the CV axle. I've checked the air box, made sure there was no dirt that was going to go straight into the engine and kill it. I've checked the oil, transmission fluid. Brake fluid seems fine. There seems to honestly still be either R134A or Freon inside the AC system. That's kind of about all I've done. So, give or take a couple extra things. I've done a couple loose ends. I did brake lines on the passenger side because the one dry rotted and ripped in half, which wasn't a big deal. I just replaced it. Just took AutoZone a while to actually give me the correct part because they had a bunch of weird things going on. Like one part had a picture, it wasn't correct, so I ended up getting the wrong part, and a couple other things. But other than that, the car seems to run fine. I need a new tie rod ends for both sides. I need another CV axle for the driver's side, brake calipers, and there was something else. Can't really remember that. But today we are doing spark plug wires, and I should be doing distributor, or the CDI distributors, whatever you want to call it, but I don't have those and they're expensive. It's 50 bucks ish for like one, and I need 3 of them, so that's 150 bucks, and that can wait a minute. But so far I've managed to take almost all the bolts loose. I've got all these front ones up here, these 2, the side ones loosened. I got to get some back ones back here loosened. There's one there, and then I think there's one, yeah, right there. Got to get those loosened, those taken out, and then I'm gonna pop what is on my neck? Some grass. Yeah, this car has a lot of grass packed. There's grass everywhere. But bolts taken out real quick, and I'm gonna try and pull this up off there and just kind of give you guys a once over of the whole car. Well, a once like an instructional video, because I've never done one of those. And I guess while I'm at it, I'm gonna clean these bolts up and try and make them a little prettier, because I want to make this car look good. So let's get to it. Alrighty, I've got this bolt, this nut on the stud down here, this bolt, that nut on the stud, and I've got these 2 back ones out and this one out. So now it's kind of beat on it with the mallet a little bit. Rubber mallet, you don't want to hit it with metal. You'll probably end up cracking the aluminum manifold. So nice rubber mallet taps just to kind of break the seal down here on the gasket loose. By the way, these nuts and bolts that hold the manifold on are 12 millimeter, just in case you're ever wondering. Yeah, give this a couple rubber mallet taps and it should break free, as mine has kind of done. It's a, well, okay, now it's restuck itself, but there, kind of wiggles. And now I got to try and pull this up off there and maybe clear some grass up and out of here. Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, as it would turn out, there is an 11th bolt right there. Don't forget to take that one out. You most certainly will not be getting this out without shattering it into a bunch of pieces. So let me get that out real quick. Alright, so there's a lot to take off of this thing. There's a connector here, which I guess I could lay back down. So there's a connector over here and here. And they have a weird design. They have these little pins that go around them. You have to pop that up and out of there. I actually like that design because then there's no plastic tabs to break off. There's this over here, which mine just slid off. I'm not sure if it's supposed to. I don't think it is. And then you got to unscrew this from here. Take the vacuum line off there. Take the breather hose off. Take this vacuum line off. Take the throttle cable mount off. Obviously, that goes with taking the throttle cable off back there. And make sure you obviously get that 11th bolt. There's 11 bolts that hold this down. Thought I remembered 11, and it's because there is 11. Now I should be able to take it and fold it kind of up and out of the way here. It's kind of a difficult project here to fold this up and out of the way. There we go. Needless to say that when you do this, obviously replace your gaskets. If you don't, you'll probably have a head gasket, or not a head gasket leak, an intake leak. I've got new ones sitting in my bedroom, so I will get that fixed up and ready to go. But now it just kind of goes with, you know, unplug one, pull the spark plug out, put a new one in. So here we go. I'm gonna start to do that. I might show you guys the process on the first one, but I got to get the tools for it first. All right, so for those of you wondering, it's a 5/8 spark plug socket. Obviously, you might want to make sure you have the rubber boot on the inside, because I'm not sure you're pulling that out without it. And then an extender bar. Mine's the medium length extender bar. It's not the super long and it's not the super stubby. And you just kind of drop it down in there. Make sure it's obviously on top. Grab your ratchet. Click that up on top. And boom. That's how you break one free. Obviously, you've probably seen a spark plug job done before. And then, hold on. There. And then, now that I've got the ratchet off, just go ahead and spin this the rest of the way out. Make sure it's extra free. No. No. I gotta go get my really long needle nose pliers. So if you guys ever find yourself in a pinch like this, these really long needle nose pliers are the way to go. I believe these are Duralast, like super long needle nose pliers, obviously. And my dad and I got these from AutoZone. We got them with our like $20 rewards thing. It's been really nice to have these, because you just reach down in there, pull out the spark plug, and then you've got the spark plug out, obviously. That doesn't look terrible. The gapping looks like maybe it's a little big. It definitely looks like it's been burning kind of weirdly. So we'll go ahead and get that replaced. And, you know, do it for the other 5. And man, these back 3 suck to get to. I'm sure they have never once been replaced. If someone's ever done a spark plug job on this, I'm sure they went, yeah, I'm not doing those 3. So, get the new spark plugs from inside the car. Let's see, I think I threw them in the back. Yeah, this car's kind of a mess on the inside. Like, it's got a door panel and some trash down there. But like I said, I got it for $800. So, I'm not too upset about whatever little bit of trash came with it. As you do a new parts job, always make sure you take time to Oh, there's a spray paint can on the ground. Alright, whatever. Make sure you take them, line them up, make sure they look about the same. They look to be about the same length, both sides. Obviously, same size socket. And then I probably should check my spark plug gap on this, but I've never really had a problem with it. But maybe I will just because I want this car to run right. So, I'll be back in a second. Alright, so I had to make my own feeler gauge, sort of. I did some math, and I made sure it's right. It fits the specifications that I need quite nicely. But I'll try and get this set to where I can show you guys how to do this. Obviously, take your feeler gauge and your spark plug, and you put the feeler gauge inside there, and you want it to drag a little bit, but not too heavy where it feels like you're forcing it inside there. You can see how it clips on, and then it kind of just drags a little bit with a little bit of friction. That's what you want. What you don't want is for it to not slip over, you know. You not want to go over and then you have to force it. That means you're stretching the metal tongue out a little bit, and it's too close and you're forcing it over, so it pulls it out just a little bit. Hold on, ignore my shaking finger. It pulls it out just a little bit, but it doesn't actually, it's not actually that distance. And then obviously you don't want it to where it just flops in there, and here I can demonstrate with the one where it flops in there and there's no real catch in there. It kind of just slips and slides around like that. See how there's still a gap in there and all that? You don't want that. You want it to go on there nicely like this, clip on a little bit, and with a little bit of friction, that's perfect. But now that I've got this set up, I can now take my spark plug, and I still need to get that spray paint can off the ground, and take it and just doop right down inside that hole. And grab our spark plug socket, wiggle it around until it goes on there, and then we start twisting her down in. And, it takes a second. There we go. It's starting to reach the bottom. Feel it gripping a little tighter. And then there's probably a torque spec for this. I just always, go with the same torque spec of whatever feels good. So I'm gonna hold on, get up. Make sure I actually get this in the correct. There we go. Correct orientation. I can always just go with it. That feels good right there. And then while I'm here, get this weird little bracket thing out of here. I don't need that bracket right now. Pop it out of there. Pop it out of that bracket. God, Japanese people are so awesome. Let me take this spark plug boot out of here because we're going to replace it with some nice new spark plug boots. We'll carry these back over here actually. I've had some parts come in and out for this car, so hopefully these fit correctly. They don't look the same at all. It's not typically something you want to be saying. Oh, I dropped a teeny tiny one. You probably guess, yep, right there. Oh, that's so cute. Anyways, I gotta grab the old boot real quick. And I gotta measure out which one is the correct one for this. And we'll put it in. Because obviously there's different lengths. This is not gonna, reach from there to there. So get this figured out. Alright, so I've got my cable. Obviously it's about the exact same length. It's a little pinched right here, and I did it by hand. I checked it. It's the correct size. So we're gonna try and take this and shove it down inside that hole. And I'm getting a very quick feeling that this is not going to fit correctly. But I'm going to try and shove it down in there anyways. After I check this end. Okay, that's correct there. So take that, plug that in over there. So there it is. It's in there. I know it doesn't look correct. It's not factory. I guess I didn't check that first because obviously this is what it's supposed to look like. It's supposed to seal up there. Yeah, well, anyways, this is a new spark plug wire for now. I can always do this job again later. Obviously, when I'm like, oh yeah, let's make sure we do that correctly this time. But clip the wire in there. Clip the wire in there. I didn't want to spend, whatever it would cost to get the correct ones. It's probably like 50, 60 bucks to get the original OEM ones. So I went with a slightly cheaper option, but nonetheless, I think it's still going to be a fairly good option, and I have no idea why there's a plastic clip here. Oh, wait. They were smart. They gave me a spot to set it. Skabooyah. And then you clip it in right there. Boom. It'll get held down by something else. I'm sure it will. Now we unclip this side and do the same process, but I'm not going to videotape that because that'll make this video like 3 hours long, so I'll just kind of skip through it and then show you guys the next steps after that. Alrighty guys, I have it put in here. I've got all the hardware up and inside there. I painted it blue. I thought it would go fairly well with the red, so I painted it. I've got all my bolts in, started back here, and then I got that one back there. So go ahead and get those torqued down. There's like 9, and then there's like a 10, and there's a 13, but I think all of these just need to be 13. So I'm gonna take those to 13 and then these to good and tight, which is a German torque spec, good and tight, and then I should be done and able to start the car up. So let's get those tightened down. Alright, so now I've got all these bolts tightened down and ready to go. I've got that one, those two, this one, all my mounting bolts tightened down, including these ones back here. Those are all tightened down good. I guess I might have forgotten my fuel rail ones, but thankfully those ain't going anywhere still. I've got a minute, so I can at least take it for a test drive. So let's get in this thing and get her for a test drive. Now, like I already said, don't knock it. She is an old car. The door panel is back here, and the reason why is because the guy owned it before me took out the motor for the window and has it wired up currently right now. I believe everything is still there. All I have to do is just get the motor and all of that and put it in there, and it should work again. But obviously, they never did that. They just, took the door panel off, wired it up, and was like, that's good enough. It keeps it sealed, keeps the critters out of it, because the original owner of it had passed away. A guy I know bought it and was gonna fix it up, but it sat for a couple years, and I asked him about it. He was like, 800 cash, it's yours. He's like, but do keep me informed, of what you do to it, and when it's back on the road, he's like, I would like to see this thing on the road again. And I was like, all right, deal. I gave him the 800 cash. I bought the car, and here it is. So I'm gonna go ahead and get her started up and get her going. There we are. Put her in gear and let's get up out of here. Now keep in mind, we're just doing test drive. I'm not driving it into town or anything. There's still too much wrong with this car. Tell you what though, she pulls pretty good. Woo-wee! Oh yeah. No, I'm gonna have a lot of fun in this car once I get her all built up and good. Oh yeah. No, I already know I'm getting speeding tickets in this bad boy. road here. My coolest feature, pop-up headlights. Booyah. Alrighty, let's get this bad boy turned around, get back home. I would say that right there is mission accomplished. Turn off my overdrive. Oh. Uh-oh. Dying in the middle of the road's not what you want. There we are. Booyah. Boom. Okay, so maybe overdrive is something I do when I'm not feeling so sporty. Because holy balls, was that a little bit different in the RPMs than the first time. Oh yeah. Now I can tell right now I'm gonna have so much fun with this thing in the future. Pull back in here. Oh yeah. Get it back in drive. Boom. There we are. I gotta say right now, I'm gonna have way too many speeding tickets in this bad boy. Or girl. I gotta go with girl. But I don't know. I feel like bad boy is always the saying that everyone uses. But yeah, I'm gonna have way too many speeding tickets with this thing. I have so much fun. I'm surprised I haven't gotten speeding tickets in my truck. You know, my truck right here is, she's done a lot for me. But man, this car is probably going to take it to the next level. Yes, I got some mess up on here to probably clean up at some point. But yeah, no, this car's going to get me in some trouble. Go ahead and get these headlights put down and that'll be the end. Oh yeah. If you guys enjoyed this little video on me replacing the spark plugs and the intake gasket, please do remember to leave a like, maybe subscribe. I'll see you guys in the next one, because I plan on making more content with her. Peace.